Good morning. Morning. And morning. Alright, let's go over we are on episode 45 of Techcoffee here in South Bend, Indiana. We're going to go over tech news, business, startups, entrepreneurship, and I'm coming to you live online. So we have about 20 minutes and we'll get rolling, and from there we can direct you to techcoffee.org and you can see the news we talked about and the links of the documented video. So let's see, you can follow along online, hashtag TechCoffee. Follow along. And then afterwards, I'll post up all the information and stuff we talked about on techcoffee.org. So let's start over on TechCrunch. Let's see what they have rolling today. Art Walk is going on this week here in South Bend, so this is a piece of art behind me that's been installed for the week. Digitizing, so TechCrunch digitizing construction sites with scaled robots. I didn't get a chance to do a video last week, but I added this story to episode 44. It's interesting how they map over the construction site, and so current cycles can be seen. So prior to the process of construction, you build in the digital environment what the building is going to look like. You start to build, and until the very end, you usually don't see the progress or the process or where you're at or how far things are compared to what you designed them to be. And there's a robot driving around. It's called Digitizing Construction Sites with Scaled Robotics, that they're mapping what's currently happening so you can compare it to what you designed it to be. Card previews, lubricating fake reviews, start building ads with a $200 credit. Microsoft Azure wants to do that. The Messenger is a no-brainer.
Hi, how are you doing? Hi, how are you? You're looking good.
Security platform. Cyber. Sabrizon raises $200 million for its enterprise security platform. Security is always a big business. Financial services market compare Asia Group raises $20 million in new funding led by Experian. It's space business. India's GoWork. All right. Maybe these two we can talk over. Bennett, sorry if I missed you, man. I was looking forward to chatting with you. Okay, so I'll link over on Twitter here. Alright, there we go. So India's GoWork raises $53 million. What series? In debt financing, right? So they took on debt, they didn't give away equity. co-working space business. So they had something they needed to build, some people they needed to hire, whatever the case may be, and they know they have a process. So if they inject this amount of money into this process, it's going to pump out X amount of revenue that will then cover that debt. So they're definitely, my hope would be that they've run the numbers well enough on existing business that they know they can cover whatever carry that debt holds. The debt round for the 2-year-old startup, not to be confused with an Indonesian startup with the same name that operates in the same space. Wow. So India and Indonesia have a company with the same name in the same space, GoWork. It's financed by a private fund managed by BlackRock's private credit team and CLSA Capital Partners Special Situations Group. Prior to the announcement, we raised an undisclosed amount from another fund, so they've already raised some. Plans to expand its accommodation capacity to 25,000 people, up from 12,000. Yep. So it's going to allow more people to work, more capacity. Makes sense. You have a process and you know it's working and you know it's running and you know how. Injecting more into it's only going to make that grow. So do you have the people and capital to make that happen? And processes. So GoWork is taking the brick and mortar aspect of the co-working concept further, as well as consistent measures to enable young businesses to reach their highest potential. We look forward to GoWork offering optimal operational efficiency for startups as well as corporates. It's interesting, they're not just focusing on space. They want to enable young businesses to reach their highest potential. It tells me they have some sort of secret sauce going on, baked in to the space, maybe some mentorship, resources connecting to a network. That would make sense. I'll link you over here. Couldn't get YouTube to stream this morning. You usually can do your encoder or you can do your YouTube live. And YouTube, there's so much changing about it. So I'm gonna figure that out offline later. Not a priority right now. Alright. So that was the GoWork. Automotive marketplace Karo acquires Indonesia's Jalo. Extends Series B to 90 million. Karo. Well, let's see what Karo is doing. There you go. Follow along. It's up on the Twitter. An automotive marketplace and car financing startup based in Singapore. Where's that? Turo? This kind of... Okay, so Karo, C-A-R-R-O, reminds me of Turo, but as I'm reading, an automotive marketplace car financing startup in Singapore. Raised $30 million, closed its $90 million round. It wants to scale its business into another geographic market, Southeast Asia. Series B round, 60 was funded by SoftBank Ventures, government-linked global investor, EDBI, Dietrich Foundation, and Encore Ventures. Okay, and the series, yep, there's no overflow of interest, of course. and our Series B, which we initially closed towards the end of the year. Had a lot of quality strategic investors coming to and therefore decided to extend the round. The round is officially closed. Has amassed 40 million monthly active users and facilitated transactions worth $1 billion per year. Interesting. Jalo, one of the Indonesia's fastest growing marketplaces where resellers trade new and used goods. So Karo acquired a new and used goods.com. 40 million monthly active users. Transactions worth $1 billion last year. So Karo maybe wants to continue that business, but and amass those users. So when it does come time for them to purchase a car, make that big purchase, the car can be already in their lexicon, already in their ecosystem. Okay? Karo and Turo. I guess Karo is really focused on actually trading a car. Here's a car, here's money, or whatever you want to trade for it. Turo is more, let me rent your vehicle while I'm someplace or whatever, period. Karo, which sees more than 70% of its transactions come from outside home Singapore, will reveal expansion plans to new markets, new acquisition deals later in the year. The subscription service will also be extended. Rivaled as any startup, including Bella Mobile Group in Indonesia, Carsum, iCar Asia, and Rocket Internet's Carmundi, although with its new raise in the bank, Karo is the best funded by some margin. Alright. So cars, the marketplaces for deals and just barter systems. I just see more and more of those. Let's see what's back on BetaKit. Shopify to host program for developers re-entering tech industry after extending leaves. Techcoffee. Interesting. Alright, so let's do Shopify first. It says Shopify, I'll link you over. Shopify to host program for developers re-entering tech industry after extended leaves. This whole 40 to 60-year-old age range, the boomers and the tail end of the boomers, re-entering the workforce in some capacity, whether it be something they wanted to do and didn't, or something they were doing, they wanted to do a new role or have a new capacity with those skills. Very interesting to me. You definitely have 30, 40 more years to live, and people think they're done because they retired because they killed it for 30 years. You definitely have some years ahead of you, so if the Walmart greeter thing got boring after a year or two, if sitting on the beach or reading a book got boring after a year or two, what boomers are going to start to do is re-enter the market or do phase 2 of their career or start a new career, start a new business, start a new project, and re-entering the workforce in what capacity is interesting. What is it they're going to re-enter as? Because you're bringing 30 plus years of experience with you. You're gonna be dangerous. Alright, so here we go. Shopify to host program. So, with talent shortage reportedly being enduring hindrance of growth in the Canadian tech ecosystem and everywhere across the globe, Shopify has created a program supporting engineers, developers who choose to take time off work for personal reasons and want to re-enter the industry. The Welcome Back program is what they're calling it. Love it. Like a college freshman, the Welcome Week, something like that. The Welcome Back program. I'll link you over to it. Welcome Back program. Shopify. It's a paid program designed to support software developers who have taken extended leave for the absence from the tech industry to re-enter the workforce. The program focuses on helping talent refresh development skills through hands-on workshops and custom programming, led by the company's engineering and learning development teams. To qualify for the program, applicants must have been out of the software development workforce for a minimum of 2 years, have more than 3 years of experience as a professional software developer, a strong foundation in object-oriented principles, and fluency in at least one object-oriented language, and a passion for curiosity of software. All right, passion for curiosity, I love that. 3-month program will run from October to December in downtown Toronto. Successful participants will be partnered with Shopify Mentor after the first month to support their growth and well-being. Applications will close September 13th, so get your applications in. September 13th, that's exciting. All right, so you have to go up to Toronto. It's 3 months, paid. Well, that's fun. Way to go, Shopify. Love to see more programs like that in high tech, in engineering, in manufacturing, in fabrication, in assembly. All these high-skilled trades jobs. Let's just get people to re-enter the workforce, doing something they know and love, have a lot of experience in. Probably them, right, having this long experience, them then retraining the people who are entering the workforce for the first time. If anything, they can be the trainers and don't do the actual thing. It's fine. 3 go-to-market strategy tools for startups and lessons learned helping Ecobee challenge industry incumbents. I have some experience with Ecobee in that industry, so this will be interesting to hear what they have to say. Beta kit. Alright, there you go. Get the preview up on Twitter. So there's a nice picture of a bunch of white dudes, just like me. Every year, 1,000 venture-backed startups. Get that coffee in. Thanks, Chicory Cafe. Every year, venture-backed ambitiously go to market, challenging the entire category and industry incumbents. Companies like Airbnb, Casper, WeWork demonstrate how a dedicated team with a great idea can knock the pins out from under the fiercest market giants. The challenger brand is not defined by its size, the mid to upend its status quo. Yeah, if you can go in and steal market share because you have something better, some secret sauce about service, or you identify the customer base better, it is what it is. The market will decide, not your longevity, not because you've been doing it for 30 years. If you've been doing it the same way for 30 years, you're in trouble. That means someone else is going to come in and better serve your customers. You're going to better identify your customers. It's just the market will decide, not you and your opinion about your business. It doesn't work that way. So here are 3 tips that to successfully take on long-established leaders, startups must define what they want to be in the world. So this is Beta Kit and Ecobee's challenge to industry incumbents. By the way, industry incumbents, you could be doing this exact same thing to yourself. Right? You're serving the market. So there are 3 things: are a powerful value proposition, a clear target customer, and a strong competitive response. So you could be doing those 3 things for your market by bringing a value proposition that is clear, a clear target customer who you know, who you've asked about, who you've listened to, and a strong competitive response. You could bring a strong competitive response to yourself. Hey, we've been doing these things, but we're hearing from you that you want these things. Just do them. You don't have to be an incumbent, rookie, veteran. You could just serve your market. So it says we'll break down each of these with some helpful links and resources for startup founders or incumbents. So first is the value proposition. The value proposition is your promise to your customer. It must tell them how to solve their problem, how you solve their problem, qualify the value you deliver, and explain why they should choose you. There's some more ways to think about value prop. Having talked about value prop quite a bit in front of first robotics teams and at startup weekends and with entrepreneurs one-on-one. Ooh, I like at the end how they give clear value props from companies. So Waze carpool, save time and money by riding together. Fair, get the car on your phone. Get a car on your phone. Jiffy, home maintenance without the hassle. Whether that meets a customer segment or not, that's not the point in the value prop. Is it a powerful, clear value proposition? Is it concise, clear, and powerful? Does it drive home a message? Separately, then, you have a target customer. So their second outline, identify a target customer, allows you to focus your marketing dollars and brand messaging on a specific market that's more likely to buy from you. You're looking for 20% of the market that will make up 80% of the revenue. Okay, so they're saying that a simple and expensive place to start is with an outline review of your competition. It is what it is. If you outline the market and listen to those people will define a market or a market segment that you can target. Competitive research tools. Okay, here's some tools. And we got paid for some of those. And the competitive response. So competitive response helps you understand your competitors, anticipate their action to your market entry. Just hustle against your target audience. More likely to attract your market to relaunch. Aiming to win with the customer. At EcoB, we responded to our competitors by aiming to win with the customer, designing a beautiful product that addressed the fundamental design flaw in all thermostats. Yeah, that last one, I would reorient to competitively go after your market or your market segment. And just out hustle, out innovate any competitors. Then you don't have to worry about them. You're just focused on serving your market or your market segment. Anyway, that's a fun outline. There's some good resources and tools, it seems like. I might give some of those a read or a look into to orient to a market or orient to how they thought about their market. Definitely understanding someone else's way of thinking helps you understand then the landscape you're dealing in. You know, that landscape perspective can be super helpful just to know where you sit within it. I always say there's three things. There's you understanding yourself, you understanding the world, and then the hardest part is understanding yourself within the world. And you can apply that to business too, right? You can understand your business and how it works, the market and the world you're playing in, and then understand yourself within that market you're playing in. You can be, if you can work on that fast, innovate fast, you can be competitive. You have the opportunity to be competitive, right? You have the opportunity to be competitive. So, what are you looking at? What are you working on? What's new in the news where you're at? Tech news or otherwise news? Business, startups, entrepreneurship? Cheers from South Bend, episode 45 at Tech Coffee. I'll see you next week, Tuesday morning at 7:30, where we'll go over the tech news, entrepreneurship, startup, and business. You can follow along online. You can follow along on Techcoffee.org on Twitter, techcoffee.org online, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. See you next week.